We're going to give you a quick overview of our interpretation of the card buffet. A couple suggestions or tips that we've come up with. We decided to use washi tape and tape everything down in place so that things didn't move from station to station. We really kind of want our stampers to start at a station, follow their directions, do that step, and pick their things up and move on. So we figured with the washi tape that would keep directions in place, keep the stamping mats in place, and examples in place as they went.
Right. So we're going to move on now to the next room. We have how many stations set up? We have 5 stations set up. So if you could just explain a little bit about this station, what we're doing here.
So at this station, the stampers are doing tags. They are doing one style. Well, it's 2 separate stamp sets. This side, we've got 2 tags using the. I just blanked on the name. Perfect.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. And this side is
Part of the paper pumpkin.
The paper pumpkin, the most recent
Sentimental
paper pumpkin.
Rose.
Yes, thank you, Sentimental Rose. So again, they're starting at the end. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is labeled by steps. They do have choices. We told them they were making 2 tags, one from each station, but each station has a couple choices. So that as they go, they have to kind of pick backgrounds and greetings and those kinds of things as they work their way down here, and then they'd go down that side. So when they're finished at this station, they'll have 2 finished tags to take with them.
Okay. And then over here, we have a quick little, for the next class coming up, they can sign up or take some information. And also a complimentary bookmark, which has the information, some more information about contact, etc. So anyhow, we'll move on now to the next room and show how we have this set up. So again, we have 5 stations. This is Karen's station here, and she's got this. Go ahead.
This is the first card of the 2 that I did. So again, everything's taped in place. They're starting step number 1. They're going to stamp. Do you want details on what they're doing, or just?
Well, yeah. Actually, one wouldn't be bad.
So okay, for this example, step number 1, they're using the Tuxedo black ink. They're stamping on this piece, which will be their focal point, the roll of ribbon. So they're going to stamp that, and they're going to take that whole thing and move on. Usually, I think we tend to have them stamp with the Tuxedo ink first and give it a chance to dry, so they're not smearing things. So they're just going to carry that over here with them. They're not actually doing anything with this piece at this station. They're just bringing it along. Step number 2, they're going to fold their piece of Coastal Cabana in half. They're going to use the Coastal Cabana ink, and they're going to stamp the buttons around the outside. That's going to be kind of the frame for their DSP. They're going to then take the Coastal Cabana piece and the focal point, come over to this side. Here they have a choice of 2 greetings. So those, they can do follow your art, and they would use the little
Classic label punch.
Yes, to punch that out. Or if they prefer, they can do let's stay up late and craft, in which case they're going to stamp with.
I love that sentiment. That's great.
Yeah. So that's the 1-inch circle punch. What I did was I went ahead and pre-punched then the little mats that they're going to put those on. In crushed curry, that's the 1 1/4 inch, or this one was with the retiring banner punch, so I punched a whole bunch of those. They've got that option, but again, they've chosen their greeting here. It's one or the other. They punch it, they mat it, and they add the mini dimensionals to the back. So now they've got all those pieces. They're going to come over here. They're going to adhere their stamped focal point with the ribbons to the Blushing Bride cardstock mat. They're going to take the DSP and they're going to adhere that to the front of their Coastal Cabana, and they can use either side. It's really their preference, which one they prefer. And then they're going to color in. So I've got them using the light and dark smoky slate for the parts of the ribbon.
That's really pretty.
Spool. And then again, all the colors are straight off the back of the DSP. So if you're trying to guess which colors you want to use, I've got Calypso Coral, the Crushed Curry, the Blushing Bride, and the Coastal Cabana, and then, like I said, the Smoky Slate. So they'll do the coloring, and then they'll just adhere everything, and the focal point is raised up with regular dimensionals.
Cool.
Those were their choices. So that's
So this,
that one.
briefly, this is the next card, and this is with Above the Clouds, is it?
Yes.
Okay, this is a brand new set. Well, both of them were. So that's really cool. And then we have two more station, well, actually one more station here in this next room, but it's in two separate places. So what they'll do is they'll start here using the Stamparatus, and it's marked, you can see a little bit here, a line, so they know exactly what to do. Again, using the Tuxedo Black, because it is really a great idea to let it dry a little before coloring. So they'll put it on their DSP and onto their card base, and then move over here for another step, which is adhering their matting to the focal image, and then finally coloring here, and they have an area to sit. The only area that's really nice to sit is for coloring, I find. So that's what we have here. And then finally, they'll finish assembling the card here. So thank you so much, Karen, for sharing a little and opening your home. And I hope whoever's watching this will be inspired to also do a card buffet.
And contact us with any questions.